We are going to focus on combustion reactions, and I'm going to show you another trick that makes things easier to balance. Okay, so combustion reactions are reactions that have oxygen as a reactant. That is combustion. When we burn or explode things, we have fuel and it reacts with oxygen gas to form products. What we're going to focus on in this lesson is hydrocarbon combustion. Okay, so hydrogen and carbon, there might be oxygens in there too, but hydrocarbon is going to combust with oxygen. And when this happens, it always makes carbon dioxide plus water, unless you have a broken heater, then we'd make carbon monoxide. Okay, and that's called an incomplete combustion. We won't be doing any of those, but carbon monoxide is deadly, and that's why you have carbon monoxide detectors. That's when things don't burn completely, okay? But we're talking about complete combustion reactions. So for everything on our worksheet, we are going to make this CO2 plus H2O, okay? So what we want to know is what makes things easier to balance. Let's balance this guy right here. I have one carbon, I have one carbon, I have two hydrogens, I have two hydrogens, okay, and I have two oxygens, but I have three oxygens. Now, I could go back and forth, and this one's pretty simple, but you'd be going back and forth a lot on some of those to make it even. So let me show you this trick. On this side, I have three oxygens. Okay, and here I only have two oxygens. So we're going to use fractions here. How can I make three if I use fractions here? Well, that would be, let's erase this so we have more room. That would be 1.5. Okay, 1.5 times 2 gives me 3 oxygens, and now we're balanced, right? There's just one problem. We can't use halfsies. I can't do 1.5, I can't do 1.5. So in order to get rid of our halfsies, we multiply everything in this entire reaction by 2. And this is why, if I only multiply this by 2, I have 6 oxygens, but I only have 3 here and it won't balance. If I raise everything by the same number, my reaction stays balanced. So now I'm going to have 2 of those, okay? That's going to be 3 oxygens. There's only one here, so that's going to be 2, and there's only one here, so that's going to be 2, okay? So now my balanced reaction would be 2CH2 plus 3O2 is going to make 2 carbon dioxides plus 2 waters. And that's how we use that half trick. Okay, so let's go ahead and do 2 from your worksheet. Okay, so you have to write this, and we're going to write it right below. You can do it on paper or you can type it in. We have CH4 plus oxygen. Now this is a Brinkelhoff, so we have to put a 2 there, okay? So we have methane plus oxygen is going to make, this is a hydrocarbon combustion, so it's going to make CO2 plus H2O. Okay, so we always, in our hydrocarbon combustion, we always do our carbons first. I've got one there, I've got one there. Yes. I've got 4 hydrogens there. I only have 2 hydrogens there, so I'm going to put a 2 there, and that's going to make 4. And now what I have here is 4 oxygens, because remember, this 2 distributes, okay? And so how do I make 4 oxygens on this side? I put a 2 there, and we think we're done, but we always need to double check one more time. Carbon, 1 carbon. 4 hydrogens. 2 times 2 is 4 hydrogens, and I have 4 oxygens. I have 2 and 4 oxygens, so we are balanced. Okay, so that's the first one, and we're going to do the second one too. So we have C2H6, which is ethane, plus oxygen gas. It's a Brinkelhoff, and that is going to always make, because it's a hydrocarbon combustion, it's always going to make CO2 plus H2O. Okay, so let's balance. I have 2 carbons here, but I only have 1 there, so I'm going to put a 2 there. 2 carbons, 2 carbons. I have 6 hydrogens here, and I only have 2 there, so I'm going to put a 3 there. Now we have 2 carbons, we have 6 hydrogens, and let's check our oxygens. We have 4 ox there, and remember this gets distributed, so I have 3 oxygens here. That's going to equal 7 oxygens. So how do I make 7 oxygens on this side? Well, we're going to do halvesies. 7 divided by 2 is 3.5, okay? So plus 3.5. And now we can see 3.5 times 2 does give us our 7, and we're balanced. But I can't have halvesies, so I'm going to multiply everything by 2, okay? And what's that going to do? That's going to make that 2. I'm going to get rid of this now, okay? That's going to make this guy, oh no. It's going to make this guy 7, okay? It's going to make this guy 4. It's going to make this guy 6. So my balanced equation here is going to be 2C2H6 plus 7 O2s, 7 oxygens, is going to give me 4 carbon dioxides. Okay, let's write that nice. And 6 waters. Okay, and that's how that guy gets balanced. So when we do our hydrocarbon combustion, do your carbons first, your hydrogens second, and leave your oxygens for last. And if you have to do the halvesy trick, because this is an odd number and there's 2 of them, just divide it by that 2. Okay, so that you could write that as 7 over 2, and then when I multiply it, it would be 7, however you like to look at your math. So finish up this worksheet. This is your second assignment for today. And I will be posting your keys if I'm not with you tomorrow in the stream. So remember, if you're not checking your work to see what you do wrong, you're not learning. You can't just sit and do a worksheet wrong and then expect to get it right on the test. So please, please, please check your work.